This is PPC Zone December 2025 B2B Outside the Box. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a Google Ads coach and the founder of the Inside Google Ads course, podcast, and book. I created PPC Zone in 2022 to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. Thank you to Cookiebot by Usercentrics for sponsoring PPC Zone. If you're running ads in Europe, Google's consent mode is not optional anymore, and that's where Cookiebot by Usercentrics comes in to easily manage user consent on your website. And of course, it connects seamlessly with Google and Microsoft consent mode, so you can gather more data to power your campaigns and get the best possible ROI. You can sign up for a free trial of Cookiebot by Usercentrics, plus get 10% off your first 6 months, all while supporting PPC Zone by going to consent.ppc.zone. That's consent.ppc.zone. Our final speaker in the zone today is the head of paid search at Compound Growth Marketing. A veteran PPC marketer, she writes for all the big publications, speaks on all the big stages, and is both one of the most knowledgeable and most generous people in our industry. She's going to share how you can use YouTube to boost B2B paid search performance. Please welcome the one and only Melissa Mackey.
Thank you, Jill. Wow, what an introduction. I appreciate that. I'm excited to talk to everybody today about YouTube ads for B2B, the hidden conversion driver. As Jill mentioned, I'm head of paid search at Compound Growth Marketing. We focus solely on B2B advertisers. So YouTube for B2B is kind of a paradox. It feels like it's really designed more for e-commerce or consumers. People do unboxing, they do demonstrations of products. You see these all over the place. And it doesn't really fit with B2B. The B2B doesn't have things that they unbox, generally speaking. And clients have objections. They say, we tried YouTube, it doesn't convert. And that's really true. YouTube campaigns are rarely going to convert directly for B2B. You're not going to see conversions attributed to those campaigns, or very many of them anyway. However, it does have a powerful influence on lead generation. And I'm going to talk to you with some case studies of how that works. So the first case study is an enterprise B2B SaaS client that we have. They had a couple of solutions they were advertising that had low awareness. So people didn't really understand what these solutions did. It was a little bit confusing, a little bit involved. And they decided they needed to create some videos to kind of explain the value propositions. So we did that and made these videos that educate the prospects before they searched. And then we launched video campaigns. And these had fantastic results. So in the first example for the first solution, they saw a 30% decrease in cost per lead, an improved click-through rate, and an improved conversion rate. So their metrics basically all got better once video ran. In the second example, they also saw a 25% decrease in cost per lead and a doubling of their conversion rate. And this was despite worse front-end metrics. So there were some competitive things that happened in the marketplace for this second solution that led to a little bit lower click-through rate and a higher cost per click, but that was all offset by the improved results they got by having video in market. So they didn't even care that those front-end metrics got worse. So video was really positive for both of these examples. In the second case study, this is a completely different type of business. It's a local B2B business with multiple locations that they were looking to find customers for. And this client came to us and said, hey, we made some videos. They're really cool. We want to run a YouTube campaign to showcase these videos. And so we said, okay, and we launched a YouTube campaign for them, just, as a consideration funnel campaign. They ran it for 5 months. They didn't get any conversions from the YouTube campaign, really not surprising, but some other things were becoming challenging in their business, and they decided they just didn't need to keep spending money on it. So we went ahead and paused the video campaigns. When we did that, the cost per lead on their brand campaigns went up by 47%. And at first we thought this was something unrelated to video. We went and did a bunch of other research optimization. And finally, we had exhausted all other options and we came back and said, let's just try the video again and see what happens. And lo and behold, cost per lead immediately went back to where it was before when video was running. And so we said, all right, let's double down. Let's run a demand gen campaign in addition to the video campaign. And so we launched demand gen. and cost per lead dropped another 47% below their original baseline. So in this example, the video really helped to drive brand awareness that fueled their search performance. It improved performance on their brand campaigns dramatically. So video has a lot of advantages for B2B. It can help explain complex solutions better than text alone. So in my first example with the enterprise B2B SaaS, it was difficult in a short text ad to explain what the solution did. But when we combined that with video campaigns and that explainer, it really improved the performance. It can build awareness and understanding before the search. And that was the case with the local B2B advertiser. Helped to reinforce their brand with the video, and then people knew who they were dealing with once they performed a search. It can improve your search metrics. This happened with all of the campaigns that we tested. Click-through rate, cost per click, conversion rates improved. And it's budget friendly. So in both of these examples, we spent less than 5% of their total budget on video. It used to be you had to spend $10,000 to $20,000 a month on video campaigns. And I think at one point that was actually a required minimum. That's no longer the case. So if you are holding back because of cost, don't. With the local advertiser, we only spent about $500 a month on video, and it was definitely worth doing. So keys to success here with successful YouTube campaigns: targeting, use custom segments with high performing search keywords. For B2B, I would stay away from the broader audiences, the in-market audiences and the affinity audiences that are pre-baked into Google Ads. Those tend to be too big, too consumer focused, and just not effective for B2B advertising. So instead of using those, we use custom segments with our search keywords. If you're not sure how to do that, go get Jill's book. It will tell you exactly how to set up these audiences. And that's a great resource to have anyway. So go get that anyway. Geography, use precise geo-targeting. So for the local B2B advertiser, we focused on just a couple of locations of theirs that needed some extra help. And even with the enterprise SaaS client, who is a global advertiser, we just focused on a couple of locations, a couple of countries where they really needed help for this particular solution. You have to be precise to avoid wasted spend. For your creative, keep your videos to 15 to 30 seconds and get your brand and logo into the first few seconds if at all possible. Longer videos, although B2B advertisers will come to us and say, I've got this great 2-minute explainer, that's obviously way too long. So you got to cut those down. For bidding, we use target cost per view. We got on all these campaigns, cost per view under a penny. So it's extremely effective in not only boosting your search performance, but also just getting a lot of eyeballs on your ad for a very low cost. Need to have some variety, multiple video variations to minimize fatigue. 2 is the minimum, and the more you have, the better. And just keep rotating them in, especially if you're doing YouTube as an always on. You need to keep things fresh to keep it from wearing out. And then, as I mentioned, budget, small budgets work. These campaigns pay for themselves via lower search cost per lead. So don't worry about that. Just allocate a small percentage of your budget. So takeaways: don't measure YouTube success by direct conversions alone. If you look at just, again, that line of conversions attributed to the campaign, you're going to say it doesn't work, but you need to look at the halo effect on your search campaigns. Look at a before and after and see how performance changed once you launched video. We have seen this with almost every client we have. So it's not just these couple examples that I handpicked. It's literally all of our clients. We're recommending video for everybody at this point because it has such a big impact on search. And start small. Allocate just 5% of your budget to test. And then if for whatever reason it doesn't work for you, you didn't really spend that much money. I look forward to hearing how you all use YouTube campaigns to improve your B2B performance.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing your unique perspective and insights with us in the Zone. If you'd like to connect with Melissa Mackey, you can find her on LinkedIn. If you would like to apply to speak at PPC Zone, you can do so on our website. That's ppc.zone. Thank you one more time to our sponsor, CookieBot by Usercentrics, for supporting our mission to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. You can learn more at consent.ppc.zone. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. Be sure to follow me on LinkedIn and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss our future events. I look forward to seeing you next time in the Zone.